Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So yesterday made it 2 months that we have owned this property. If you're new to our journey, me and my wife Tracy, we sold our house last year. We used to live in town and we wanted to basically follow our dreams of homesteading on a larger scale really badly. So we sold our house in town, donated virtually every large thing that we owned to live in a camper with our teenage son and our 3 dogs to find a piece of property that had a house on it. So we ended up finding this place here. It is a major fixer-upper. So we've basically just been working nonstop at it. I would have filmed a 2-month update video yesterday, but we decided to take the day off. So instead of working really hard, we relaxed for a little while, and then we got we're like, well, let's get some stuff done even though we're supposed to be relaxing today. So we ended up mowing the grass and doing a bunch of weed whacking and push mowing and burning a bunch of bushes and stuff like that. So yeah, we're really great at relaxing around here. But so today I want to show you guys just a little bit more of what we got done. This morning there was 2 large bushes, one here and then one over there, that were just like decorative evergreen shrub type things. There was also one down there that I've removed. Down there we're gonna put that wheelbarrow. It was actually left here, so I repainted it. It's not in very good shape, so I painted it to look cute, and we're gonna turn that area down there into a little flower bed once Tracy removes all the wonderful poison ivy that is growing in that area. I didn't used to get poison ivy until last year, and last year I became like severely allergic to poison ivy and poison oak and basically anything that makes you itchy. So yeah, Tracy gets elected to do poison ivy removal for a lot of stuff. So she gets it, but not anywhere near as bad as I do. When I get it, it's pretty intense, which is weird because I never got it as a kid, never nothing, but body changes, I guess. So this is one of many large trash piles that we were left with when we bought this place. So that's been Willie's project. Our son, he's been working on cleaning up trash every week. We have him just basically put some in a couple bags to slowly work on getting rid of it. A lot of the trash that is over in this area is a lot of like plaster from when they removed the plaster ceiling in the living room. They just apparently dumped it there. But the trash company has stipulations on how heavy bags can be, and we know what 50 pounds is and they don't. So yeah, had a lot of fun dealing with them, trying to tell us that bags are too heavy when I could lift them with one hand. So now we're just doing very small bags, because apparently I'm a tougher chick than all the trash men are. So that's going to take us forever to get that all cleaned up, but we are making a dent in it. The fridge there that was left here, they left it with food in it, so we just set it over here, so then that way we can find somebody that does scrap, so they can get that. And then there's also a washer that was left inside too, so we scrapped that. Well, we have it just sitting there, but it'll eventually get scrapped. There's a lot of stuff to throw away and some scrap that we can take in. But so this area in here, I've cleared out trees and a bunch of random tall weeds, and Tracy's gotten some poison ivy out of there. So this is eventually going to be our Zen garden area. There's a little spring over there that's been dug out to be like a shallow pond. So we eventually want to make it like a really nice feature. So later on today, I'm going to actually remove that lattice and stuff that's down there that's barely hanging on. And I'll probably work on removing the porch rail because it's in such bad shape that if you were to go to fall through it, I'm pretty sure you would just fall through, like if you were losing your balance on the porch. So yeah, gotta get that removed. This week we're actually contacting somebody about getting the roof replaced. That little porch roof there is actually working on trying to fall down. We have a 4x4 up to hold it in place, so that way when we're walking up and down we don't get decapitated or something of the sort. So then another thing we worked on today and yesterday, well, we did it yesterday and then finished it today. There was a huge amount of limbs over in this area that had fallen down from our dying black walnut trees. So we burnt some of that stuff that wasn't any good, and we cut some of it up today that was good enough to serve as firewood. We do plan on having a wood burner put in and installed before winter time, so that way we can use wood heat as our primary heat source. We still need to figure out a furnace situation here. The furnace that's in the house, we don't know if it works or not. It's ridiculously old for a furnace. So, and it's also a fuel oil furnace, which is like really expensive to use. So that's part of why we're trying to do wood heat, because there's a lot of woods here, and we have access to more woods. Tracy's mom owns quite a bit of land that is mostly wooded. So we have access to wood. We just would have to go get it ourselves, which, you know, it's no big deal. We're not afraid of work. But so there's a really big hemlock tree. I thought it was a pine tree when we first moved here, but then we looked at it more, did some research, and discovered that it's a hemlock tree. It's over towards the back of the house. I should have showed you guys this before I walked the whole way around it, but whatever. So I pruned off and cut down a lot of branches today off of it, because you weren't even able to walk through here before. It was all the way down to the ground. So that was a lot of work. There's a lot of dead limbs that are on there, and the tree does lean towards the house pretty significantly because of the hillside here. So that is something that we're eventually going to have cut down. But I assume that we'll probably be using professionals to do that, because it's not very, as you can see, it's really not very far from the house, and it does have a wee bit of a lean towards the house, and I don't really want, I mean, this tree, it's, you know, probably like 100 feet tall or more. I'll see if I can show you guys. I mean, it's a big tree, so there's not really a good safe way for us to even redneck engineer it enough to take it down safely, because there's too much junk in the way, too much important stuff. So we'll probably next year, something with income tax money, return money, we'll probably have that taken down. There's a bug on my glasses. I get distracted by squirrels and flying birds. Lord knows, if there's a bug on my glasses, it's going to be way worse. So here is some of the stuff that I've pruned off of that tree. I would work on cutting it up the rest of the way, but Willie needed to borrow my little electric chainsaw to go to his great grandma's house to help cut down a bush. It's like a really, really big overgrown bush. So I gave him a crash course on how to use it, because it was my first time using it today too. So I showed him how to use it and how to do some minor chainsaw safety stuff. So hopefully he comes back with all of his appendages still where they're supposed to be. And then I also, this here, if you've ever tried it, please let me know in the comments. I've never even heard of this type of plant, but we have one of those fancy pants plant ID apps to help us identify some of the stuff that is here. Also how we found out it's hemlock, not a pine tree. But so this is actually called sheepberry. One of the other names, I'll zoom in on the flower so you guys can see. It's very pretty. One of the other names for it is called a nanny berry. I've never eaten them, but everything I've read online says that they're edible and that they taste pretty good. So I'm curious to see how they end up tasting. But it was something that had fallen down eons ago, evidently based on the amount of wood rot that the logs had. So it actually was something that was basically obstructing our whole walkway to the barn. So we couldn't mow around it, we couldn't walk through there, so we had to walk down over by Ferdinand, in that area over in there. It kind of gets a little bit wet. Or we had to walk up through the woods to get to the barn. So that was something that we've been wanting to do for a while, is to just clear a path that we don't have to walk through the woods like I am right now, because I have, you know, a bunch of wood cut down, so I can't get through that way. But yeah, so now there is a more clear, direct path basically going to the car. That's where the driveway, and that's the side of the house and all that stuff. So there'll be a clear, direct path instead of having to go all the way up here or going all the way down there to get around all of it. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have ever eaten sheepberry / nannyberry, because I'm very excited to try it. It's something that everything that I read said that it's supposed to be ripe in the fall time. So we're pretty jazzed to try that. We are very adventurous eaters. That's one of the perks of being a homesteader, is that you can, basically just try a whole bunch of stuff all the time for new things. So this little shelter thingy, I still have not had a chance to tear it down the rest of the way. So I've gotten it partially down, but there's so many things that need done here that like our attention keeps getting split to other things, especially since it is gardening season. So we have got the garden put in, which is kind of just like a major feat in itself. We've only lived here for a month and a half about, and we've worked on renovating the inside of the house, removing a massive amount of trash, maintaining a farm with, milking the goats and keeping all of the animals and the rabbits and stuff all, alive, maintaining our breeding schedules. And it's been crazy. And if you watched our lost video, the predator that was killing our chickens is no longer in existence. It was a raccoon. We caught it in a trap and took care of business the way that, raccoons should be taken care of. So we got the garden in. Everything is pretty much planted. Tracy's actually at her mom's right now to borrow a weed whacker that her mom has that has one of those cultivator head attachments to it. So we can basically do a rough tilling of some of the soil that was tilled, weeks ago, that basically just needs softened up so we can direct sow some seeds in it. So once we get everything finished planting in the garden, we would love to we want to do a garden tour for everybody, so that way we can just show off where everything's at and how we're doing things. I'm hoping that this year's gardening season is going to be successful, but I'm honestly, I don't know. The soil is a lot of clay, so it's going to take quite some time to properly amend it. I did plant everything with a lot of rabbit manure and goat manure and things of that nature to really boost the soil quality. But, to make clay not so dense and not so tough, and to turn it into something that is loose and airable, aired out and that sort of a thing, it takes years of working with the soil to make it so that way it's something really top-notch. So yeah, the soil here, there's still, some weeds and such in it. That's what the little cultivator head's going to be. So today, once the sun, after about 5 or 6 o'clock, the sun goes behind all of those trees back there, putting the garden into a more shady area, so that way we can work in there. We were going to get up early this morning, but that didn't happen. We were just kind of like, I don't feel like doing much. I actually fell asleep last night while we were sitting out at the fire. Tracy was like, "Hey, you're snoring," and I was like, sorry, my bad. But so it's kind of exhausting to constantly have nothing but projects going on. And we did get signed up to do an additional farmers market, so we're really excited. For those of our fans that are local, we will be at the Canton Farmers Market. That starts June 17th. That's on Saturdays from 10 to 1. And we also signed up on Saturday. We went to a Homestead Rendezvous is what it was called. It was a local event for people that are, homesteaders, farmers, that sort of a thing, to go to. It was a free public event, and we found out that there was going to be some ducks there for sale, so we had to stop by because we were wanting to get into doing some more ducks, even though we got eggs in the incubator that are working on hatching right now. We wanted to add in another variety, so that way there was, big plethora of colors that we got. We like to have things really pretty and vibrant and just massive varieties. So when we went there, we ended up making friends with a bunch of different people, buying the ducks, having a really good time. Bought some sweet potato slips, so we're gonna plant some of them this year to try out. But we also found out about another farmers market that really piqued our interest to do. It's on Sundays. It's in Jewett, Ohio. So we're gonna be doing the Jewett open air market, and that actually starts this Sunday. So I have been toiling away at thinking of new different flavors for bread to make. I currently make a plain artisan bread, a cinnamon sugar swirl, and a garlic and herb. So I was thinking about doing something with like marinara sauce swirled into it, but I'm not sure. I made extra dough this morning so I could play with that just to try something different. So also, if you guys have any ideas for a fun flavored bread for me to try out, let me know in the comment section too, because I like varieties of stuff. Pretty much everything that we do, that's why we have to do such a large garden, is because we don't just grow like the normal stuff. We also grow a lot of things like kohlrabi and different squashes and basically everything. Like, that's our biggest downfall is we love the flavors of everything, so we have to have everything. Like, we have like 5 different varieties of grapes that we're planning to put in the ground probably next week, and this house came with established arbors that we don't even know what flavors they are, but we're like, well, we know we want some green grapes, and we want some red grapes, and we want some purple grapes, and we want all these other grapes, and we want all these berries. So we just, have all this stuff because we want to experience all the flavors. We figure that's kind of the fun part in life, is to just taste so many different tastes all the time. So yeah, if you're enjoying this content, please give our videos a thumbs up. Share it with your friends on social media, and also consider subscribing to our channel to help us grow. We basically are just doing this to try to share our lives with others, because a lot of people have seemed genuinely interested in what we're doing, because we are living a very, very different lifestyle, especially seeing as how we lived in a camper for nearly a year and we all came out unscathed. Even while we had Ferdinand living in the camper with us because his mom died, so he was a bottle baby. So yeah, that was the most craziest month. Was the last month that we lived in the camper. But yeah, so if you guys are liking this content, please do all the things to help us grow. It'll really help our business out a lot, and it'll mean a lot to us. We actually hit over 100 subscribers this past weekend, and my mind is just completely blown away that we have that many subscribers and stuff. I live in a very small town, outside of a small town, and I have a very small circle because, well, there's not a lot of people that are like us. So yeah, it's kind of neat to us to keep gaining more. But anyways, so thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.